need to figure out what I want to shiny hunt. What I want to shiny hunt. Da ba da ba da ba da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Hi, Hatrio! Hello! So I've taken a small hiatus, and I've returned, and I can just say, just from the small break, because here's the thing, I did want to try to go for a bit longer for the hiatus, just so that I could do, like, the whole reset, and just focus on life and all that. But it's like, things have just been way too chaotic to a point where I'm like, I literally wanted to stream a few times, but I've been forcing myself to not to, so that I could continue doing this hiatus. But now I'm just like, you know what? Screw trying to force myself to do something that I clearly don't want to do right now. Like, college classes, yes, they are being stressful right now, and I should focus on them. But just for a reference, I've dropped one of them, and what it's seeming like is I'm most likely not going to be getting my associate's degree. Hi, Huntress! Here's also the other thing, it's felt like so long, like it's felt like forever since I streamed, even though I know it's only been like a weekish. And I'm just like, it felt so long. And it's just, have I done some self-reflection and gotten through some of the issues that I've been having? Sort of. I am still, like, very anxious and nervous about a lot of different things, and, like, one thing I will say is, like, when it comes to, the next semester, it is going to be extremely rocky, / being like, I honestly don't know when I'm going to stream, and later this year, too, when I transfer to the in-person college and stuff like that, I'm like, that is going to be a whole new rodeo, as I'm going to be, like, in a new place, living by myself, well, maybe living by myself or with a roommate, trying to figure out that sort of stuff, going into in-person classes, and so I'm like, I can't fully be like, yeah, I'll still be around and all of that. It will most likely be a thing of, like, saying, hi, I'm going on another hiatus, but this one is fully gonna be indefinite, like, because it's literally the thing of, like, it's in-person college, it's really, like, it's gonna be, like, dictates in my life, because it's the thing of, like, with streaming, I can always come back. Like, seriously, I can always come back when I feel like it. But right now, it's sort of the thing of, like, do I still have a bit of freedom to do the streams? Yes, absolutely, but when I made that announcement, I was on the brink of, like, the best way to explain it is I exploded mentally. Like, I was not in the right place. I was not in a good mindset. And it literally felt like everything was breaking around me just because like, I had that moment of, like, just things felt wrong, things did not feel right. Like, even though the start of the year was incredible and amazing, it then just, my mentality just plummeted, and I'm just like, I needed to step back. Yeah, hold on, let me read. I'm back from the hiatus. But yeah, thank you, Hachiro. Hi, Huntress. I missed you. I missed you too. I miss everybody. And it's also the thing of, like, on my Twitter, I did say, like, weirdly enough, I use streaming for 2 reasons. Socializing in my streams, like socializing with other people while I stream, and just a body double. Because here's the thing. When I was gonna take the break from Twitch and all that, it was gonna be a thing of, like, I'll still try to be around on Twitch and tune into other people's channels. I've only, like, used Twitch and watched other people, like, 3 times, like, this entire hiatus, like, and it made me realize, like, holy moly, like, I really, like, and it's a thing of, like, I do want to try to support other streamers and all that too, but I'm like, I'm just now realizing, like, during that not aha moment, but this self-reflection and stuff and all that, and it's just weird that I'm like, I guess I was just so focused on the grind and, like, trying to get my stuff together and trying to push my streams, and then it just really shows for me where I'm like, really, I just do it to enjoy the things. Like, do I really care what other people are streaming? Not really. And I do apologize for that, for other streamers as well, and it's the thing of, like, I do want to try to attend other people's streams or, like, try to network, but I'm just, like, during that whole break that I've taken, I've realized, like, just, that's not really what not who I am or what I'm like, but at the same time I'm like, I've always been solo, and that's what, just something I probably will just remain, because I'm like, will I raid other people? Yes, absolutely. And if I feel like it, I'll watch other people's streams. But at the same time, I'm like, I do need to, like, figure stuff out, just because it's also like, I don't want to go back to, like, before the hiatus, where I was grinding non-stop every single day. Where that was not healthy or good for me. And I fully recognize that. And hey, sir, I thought you were relaxing. Glad you back, but take it easy. Hi, Blood. I will. I promise. I will be way better. I won't try to, like, here's the thing. If I feel like streaming, I will stream. If, like, I don't have anything else that I need to do, college-wise or real-life-wise, or if I'm just like, I don't feel like streaming today, or like, I just, Because, again, it's the thing of, like, I use my streaming as body doubling, too, and, like, here's something else that I've realized when I was off, like, streaming. I'm like, I was having a hard time, like, playing games, or, like, even doing my crafting stuff, because I've always, like, of course I did finish the Half the Fun time-lapse that, uploaded that to TikTok, and I did do a considerable amount of work on a diamond painting. I've recorded good bits and pieces of that, so we have that going on. But I'm just, like, now realizing that I'm like, I hate it when people get stressed and just come back to just please the fans. Yeah, no. That's the thing that I'm like, that's something I've realized through the break. Where I'm like, I've stated this over and over again in just the hee hee ha ha, like, I'm just joking kind of way, but I'm like, I'm fully just not, and it's, the way I'm gonna phrase this will make it sound bad, but at the same time, it's like, it's sort of hard, because it's like, most to all my connections have been online. Most of my friends, all relationships, everything has been online. But the thing that I guess I just had so much struggle with is, because the thing that started my breaking point was realizing I literally have no real life friends. everyone's online. And so I'm just like, it just made me upset because I'm like, don't, like, I just don't have a lot of those memories. So, yeah. I'm not gonna go into that whole spiel. I've already had an emotional breakdown of that, but that's the thing that started it off. And then as I was just, like, self-reflecting, stuff like that, I slowly started to realize the thing of, like, just... And it's also the sad thing, too, of, like, it could happen to a lot of other people, too, is whenever I'm messaging people, or, like, when I'm talking to people on stream and stuff like that, I'm just having a hard connection. Like, I had the hard connection of, like, not being, like, I don't see the viewers as actual people, or, like, the people I'm interacting with as real people, but at the same time, it's like, I've never met them. I've never interacted with them in real life. Everything we've done is digital. So it was the whole, like, mental boom of, like, just, like, am I actually friends with actual people? Like, and I know that sounds weird, like, trying to phrase it and all that, but it's just, it was the hard thing of, like, am I actually talking to real people, or are they bots, or, like, like, who and what am I talking to kind of thing, just because of the whole thing. And one thing that I'm actually very happy with myself, weird segue, I know, weird segue, but I'm glad that things. Hey Silver, hope your night is going great, just lurking and cleaning. Hi Soap, hope you're having a good day. But yeah, it's the last time I had a mental boom where, like, I was completely stressed, and it was like the other time I had that huge mental boom, it was mainly because I flat out did not know who I could call a friend, or, like, who was a friend and who wasn't, mainly because it's like, again, most of all the people I've interacted with were on Twitch, or, like, just a one-off Discord call, like, every now and then, or, like, just, yeah, like, outside of streaming, I don't really interact with people much, and, like, this is not to say, like, oh, woe is me, I'm lonely. It's really the thing of, like, that's just how I've always been, and it's sort of just, like, what I enjoy a lot of times, like, and I'm very much someone that's, like, I just, if I was to interact with people, it would be just the people I want to interact with, like, with close friends and stuff like that. We're streaming on Twitch, it's essentially just interacting with a lot of people you don't really know, and depending on how many people are around, it then becomes the hard thing of, like, who's your friend, who's just a fan, or, like, who can you talk to without them seeing, like, streamer viewer kind of thing, because that's the thing of, too, of, like, I always want to try to push that, where it's, like, streamer-viewer relation, but at the same time, I'm also, like, but I also want to have a friend, like, friendships with some people, but, like, I just didn't, and I still don't know, like, I still don't know who are the right people to trust, who I want to talk to, that sort of stuff. I'm like, I have a small handful of people that I absolutely, like, trust and, like, have great friendships with, and it's just, I guess, a thing of, like, looking at Twitch and social medias and stuff like that. I guess it's the thing of, like, I don't know. It's it's the hard thing of like I just don't know how to word everything that I've just learned, discovered, gone through like just this past week. And just yeah, I really don't know how to express it. Just the best way I can express it is a lot of frustration, a lot of tears, mental boom, cut, like, just, yeah. And, like, during said mental boom, too, is, like, something that I joined this year was a VTuber, like a VTuber group called Ryoku. And the people over there, they're fabulous. They're amazing and all that. But it's the thing of like just the sudden mental boom and just the start of the downhill battle. I sort of realized I need away from people. Like and notified being like, hey, if like I don't plan on streaming on Twitch for a while or something like that. Like, would this be okay or something like that? And the whole thing was pretty much like, we'll give you a month and then like you need to start streaming again. Where at first I was like, okay, understandable, I can try to work that in. But then things just got worse for my mentality. And so I just pulled the plug, said, like, gave an apology when I did so, and then went back, gave them a proper apology. And it's just like, yeah, they're an amazing group of people. And it's nothing that happened, like they're not at fault or anything as to why I left. And if I was to blame them for anything, it would really just be the thing of like it's only something that I can be mad at myself at, really. Where it's the whole thing of I just didn't really know anybody there. And yes, bonds do need to be built and the trust and all that. But at the same time, I was sort of like, I just didn't really know or how to feel. In a way, because I'm not the most outgoing person. I'm not the most sociable person. And that's just how I'm always going to be. Like, if I'm going to be sociable, it's to the people that I trust. And just message frequently, kind of thing. But to everyone else and everything else, it's sort of the case of like, I'll talk to you if you like send me a message first or something. And it's not a thing of like, it's just I don't care about anybody. It's just more of I just don't want to be a bother, first and foremost, but also secondly, just I don't know who to exactly message or really know how to build a good bond, because a lot of the times whenever I'm seeing like VTubers, for example, a lot of them are putting on a character, and some people like on other medias sometimes complain about other VTubers playing their character while interacting with them, like off stream, and so it's just sort of the hard case of like, who do I interact with? Like and that's sort of also something that was just mental boom, because it's literally that case of like, who's like playing a character and who's not. Like some of these people, it's hard to figure out who's being like legit with how they're like putting themselves out there and who's not, kind of thing. So it's just but yeah. safe to say, will I be on as frequent as I was in the past? Honestly, I don't know. I could be if I really want to, but at the same time, I know it would not be good for me or in my best interest. And just, yeah. Just again, if I ever feel the stronger urge to stream, I will do so. But otherwise, it'll be like a day for myself, a day to get real life stuff done, or recordings and stuff like that. And something I need to do more, too, is pushing myself to try to do more. Because that's also another thing that I was having a bit of a struggle with this week, too, is just trying to get myself to do stuff. Like, that's just something I've always struggled with is just trying to do things. Where it's again, like, all the times when I'm playing games, most of the time that I do them, it's either, like, I'm invited with friends, or I have a friend in a voice call, or, like, I'm streaming it. Like, I flat out just can't play a game to play a game, like, when I want to, because I can do it for, like, 5 to 10 minutes max, and then I get bored. And I don't want to do it anymore, because I'm like, I don't feel fulfilled doing this sort of stuff. Like, unless I'm recording or streaming it, I'm like, I don't feel fulfilled doing games. But just, yeah. And I guess other things, too, that just happened is, like I stated earlier, there's probably gonna be a change of plans with, like, college stuff and all that. Probably not gonna be getting my associate's degree. And instead, try to use all the credits I've accumulated and use those for the other college I plan to go to. And the main reason why is mainly because one of my classes I've been taking this semester is anatomy and physiology. And the course is 7 weeks, and it is an absolute nightmare. Like, it is not fun. And mainly because there's, like, it just feels like a hot mess in there. Like, I'm not learning anything. I don't know the muscle structures. I don't know all the bones. I don't know any of the things that we're essentially learning in that class, or supposed to learn. And so I'm just struggling with that, and I've talked to my family about this too, and it's really a thing of like, would rather drop this class and just have a withdrawal rather than outright fail the class. So yeah, that's sort of what's happened. And just, yeah. It's just, it has been a whirlwind of emotions and just a lot of things that has been happening. Cause something else too is, due to me dropping this, I need to do a different math or science class. However, the only classes I can take are science ones, and there's only 3 I can take, because it is just anatomy and physiology, biology 2, and microbiology. Those are the only classes I can sign up for. I did attempt to try to sign up for college algebra a while ago. However, in order to take college algebra, there's the prerequisite of intermediate algebra. And then in order to take intermediate algebra, you need to have taken beginner algebra, and to have taken beginner algebra, you needed to have fundamentals of math taken. And those other 3 classes that I've just listed, they were not options. So quite literally, I'm gate-kept out of from any of those classes. Like, any of the math classes in college algebra, and most of the science classes, and every single math class that is available for me to choose is gate-kept because I need to have taken college algebra. So it was just yeah. Just a huge headache. And just, again, I'm... just mentally, I'm still not there. I'm still not there mentally. But we have things in the works. We're taking slow steps. And are things going as we planned? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And like, there's just been a few things this year too that have happened that I fully regret saying and doing. And just, we're not going into that area. Just everything that's happened, they've been dealt with. It is in the past. Things have been talked about, and all we can do is move forward. So, yeah. Just, yeah. I mean, the only thing I will, like, say anything about it is most likely not going to pursue any, like, relationship, anything with that. Mainly just because needing to figure myself out and all that, but also not completely over. And I'm not like wanting to move on from that because I still do care about them. And hold on. Well, actually no. Okay, sorry. But it's the thing of, like, I still do genuinely care and love them. I just, yeah, 100% still do. But I'm like, I'm not, like, need to just figure things out for myself first and foremost, because I just, yeah. Yeah, and it's also another thing too, is like, like the whole thing of like all friendships, all relationships, all that online. I guess I'm just like, I want to be done with that. Just because it's, like, I want to have something that's in person and real. Though, of course, the person I'm referring to, if it ends up being online, then I'm like, you know what? I don't care, I'll still retain it, kind of thing. Like, I genuinely care about them to that point where I'm like, just, yeah. But like, just everybody else, like, in relationship-wise, where again, I'm not even, nope, just not interested, no thank you. It, especially if it's online, I'm like, no, like, I'm sorry, but no. But, yeah. Just, wow. Just, yeah. Things have just been stressful. I want to just get my life together, be able to make the first few steps towards something positive again. And just, yeah. Yes. Just the thing of, I'm gonna just do whatever the heck I want to do when I feel like it. Like that full kind of thing. If I feel like streaming, I'm going to stream for a little bit. And just, yeah. I'm, like, I guess the thing that I'm going to try to focus now is, like, just not trying to push goals. Like, I don't want to push follower goals. I don't want to push subscription goals. Though, like, those kind of things. Like, at this point, the 3 years of my grinding has resulted in the followers that I have as of now. And I'm very proud of it. But I'm like, I just wanna just enjoy streaming at this point. I don't wanna... I just wanna sort of stay in my own little corner for now. And if people find me, they find me. If not, then okay. I'm fine with it. Because it's the thing of, I did the best that I could, and I'm proud of what I've been able to do, and the people that I've met and encountered, and the lessons and experiences that I've gained from the past 3 years. They're things that I'm never gonna get rid of, and never gonna, like, forget about. And, like, just again, I appreciate everything that I've experienced. Even if some of them have just been temporary and all that. Temporary things are still, like, very, like, they were nice. They were good. But, yeah, just again, I'm never gonna forget about any of the things. I'm just gonna keep going with my own life, even though there's been many times that I've been like, I wish I could restart it. Just because I've always felt like I've always been in the scatterbrained mindset kind of thing. Like, I did way too many things. I don't have consistent stuff. I don't do these other things, and yeah. I guess it's just another thing too, is like, one thing that I was very passionate about, and I'm still am, is cross-stitching and stuff like that. But I've always looked at all the other streamers too, and I don't know, I just felt ashamed, and felt very, like, well, just, yeah, very ashamed of being what I was, which was cross-stitching. Where at first I was like, oh, my Bearscuda. Oh, no, never mind, Bearscuda's good. But just, like, I was seeing all these other, like, streamers and content creators doing, like, games and all these other things where I was over here doing cross-stitching, and part of me was just like, if I'm gonna be on Twitch or, like, any of these live stream platforms, I can't do makers and crafting or stuff like that. Like, you're never gonna get anywhere, and just again, like, felt ashamed doing the stuff that I was doing, just because my inner saboteur was being like, nobody's gonna watch you, nobody's gonna care, you're wasting your time, you're doing all these things for what? And just, yeah, I guess that's just how my Twitch journey has always felt too. It's just like, was I doing everything that I love to do? Absolutely not. If anything, most of it was to just try to do something. Try to get engagement or followers and stuff like that. But after this, like, whole break, it's just a thing of, do I enjoy games? Yes. But it's a very limited, like, selection of games. Do I enjoy makers and crafting? Absolutely. I love cross-stitching. I love diamond painting. But it's just, I don't know. It's the weird thing of, like, I still don't understand why I was shaming myself and felt ashamed doing the things that I loved. Where it was cross-stitching and, like, shiny hunting. Stuff like that. Like, I genuinely don't know why I felt ashamed. I guess it was probably a thing of, like, just always feeling like nobody's gonna notice me. Or, like, nobody's gonna come around. Like, why are you doing this? And just, yeah. Just mentality is stupid. But, yeah. I just need to not feel like what I'm doing is pointless. Or, like, just not feel ashamed of what I do. Because, like, the thing that I feared about most was actually someone coming around and being like, you're, like, why are you doing this? Like, nobody cares what you're doing. Like, nobody enjoys cross-stitching, or nobody enjoys, like, makers and crafters and stuff like that. And I guess I was just always like, didn't want to encounter someone that would be like that, even though I've never encountered anybody like that. If anything, I've encountered more of those people in the gaming community rather than makers and crafting. Because it's genuinely, like, makers and crafting, there's not really any negativity in it. But, like, when it comes to gaming, it's like, it's within its own little community, and there's a lot of toxicity within each community. I'm just like, ugh. Blech. Oh yeah, I just at this point, I'm like, I'm just gonna interact with the people that I want to interact with. Like, off stream and stuff like that. I'll interact with the people that I genuinely want to talk to and interact with, instead of worrying about, like, joining other people's streams and being interactive there, and not feeling like... Because I guess that's the other thing too, of, like, me being like, I want to have the viewer-streamer relationship with a lot of people, mainly because it's like, I genuinely don't know anybody aside from what's happened in stream. But at the same time, it's sort of the same with other people. and I'm very hypocritical about it, but I'm like, I feel bummed when other people aren't really talking to me. Or like, it feels very distant, where it's again, I understand why that is, and why a lot of streamers are distant, but at the same time I'm like, that's also why I've just never really collabed, or like tried reaching out to other people to collab with. It's because just collabing to me feels like an olive branch for a budding friendship. But just so many of the people that I thought of collabing with, I was like, I don't know if I'm actually friends with them, or like would classify them as a friend, or something of that nature. And so I was always very hesitant, because it's really the thing of like, the moment I would do this, I am placing all of my trust and like all of this into the person. And if they backstab me or do something negative or drags me into some sort of drama, that will just make me feel like extremely terrible. Because it's the thing of like, I place trust in the person, and just, yeah, it was broken. And I guess that's just my overall theme with everybody. I'm like, I genuinely don't want to extend too much of a branch out to too many people, because the moment I do, that's me saying like, hey, I'm giving you my, like, 100% of my trust, and like, just all this sort of stuff. I don't know how to best describe it, but just, yeah, like, trust, friendship, time, energy, like, that, like, the moment I'm doing that, I'm like, I'm willing to expend the energy to do so. But I'm like, I don't want to do so if the trust is gonna be broken. Or like, kind of like an investment or something like that, where I'm like, if I'm not seeing positive outcome, I'm not gonna continue nurturing this if the other side's not willing to do so either, or it seems like it's lackluster or something like that. Because the, like, so far I've been in 3 relationships so far. The first 2 sort of ended because of that too. Of the whole trust thing. And I'm just like, like, the first one, just, it ended because something that I asked about many times, they came forward and were like, yeah, I actually lied and that sort of stuff, and was just like, that, trust broken, I'm sorry. Second one, it, like, sort of the trust started falling out just because of some comments, and also being like, asking about polyamory, and I'm just like, I'm monogamous. Like, I don't ever want to be in a poly relationship and stuff like that. Like, that's not my thing. And when that came up, it instead made me feel like I wasn't doing anything right or something like that, and it just kind of gave a blow into, or I guess it's just why I'm always just iffy with people, too. It's just like, a lot of times when I try to put trust in someone, it just either fizzles out, or it's just like something happens that I'm just like, why? Just, why? Just safe to say, I'm like, I'm going to just try to just do whatever the heck I want and stuff like that. Oh, that is a vanilla. But yeah, I'm still just walking a tightrope that's becoming thinner and thicker at random intervals. And just overall I just don't want to screw up with anything. I really don't. Like, at the end of the day, my goal with, like, streaming too is just body double, just have fun, and, like, for anybody that just wants to chill and relax, just have this space for them. That's gonna be it. That's always been the plan, and just now I'm gonna try to stick to it. I'm not gonna bother trying to reach out towards other people when I fully know that, like, I either just don't have an interest or, like, so, yeah. Because at the end of the day, I'm just overall just not interested in people in general. And people don't need to get why I'm just not interested in people anymore. I'm just not. The people that, like, affect me and that I, like, want to care about me or, like, I care about, they know who, like, I at least hope they know who they are. But overall, I'm just like, I'm not too interested in people anymore. I don't know. Guess it's also another thing too. I don't know. I'm being upsetty. Not upsetty spaghetti, but I'm just like, just in, like, the mood of just like, if things don't work out and stuff like that, I'm just like, you know what? I'll be completely complacent, but also fine with, like, just being alone. Like, friendship-wise, relationship-wise, stuff like that. Like, if it turns out stuff like that, I'll just be like, okay. I half expected it to go like that, so... I mean, not half expected, but just be like, in that time where it's like, if it does end up like that, I'll just be like, okay, well, I've already mentally prepared myself for such situations, so It's disheartening, but at the same time, I'll probably be ready for it. It'll be fine. And I guess it's also the thing of, like, even if people say, like, I'm not actually alone, or, like, they're there for me, there'll be a thing of, like, I know that's what everybody says, but... yeah. Hard to change the mind and the heart when it's with something that someone's so used to. But again, I'm fine with it. And won't feel I'll feel a little heartbroken, but at the same time, it'll be what it is. It is what it is. Life moves on, and yeah. Can't be too upset about things. All I can do is do what's best for me. At the end of the day, like, that's just all that one can wish upon themselves. Doing the best for themselves. Not worry about what others think about or do, so long as you think of what is best for you. And yeah. Even if that means, like, again, just being alone. Because at least when you're alone, you don't have to worry about, like, including people or, like, trying to do things to impress others. You just gotta do whatever the heck you want to do. Whether it's just stay inside and just have fun watching movies, YouTube videos, listening to music, or just going out, grabbing some food at your favorite place, having a fun time, like going to an art museum, or traveling around, like traveling the world or something like that. Like, just anything that you want. Because, again, nobody else has to go with you, or, like, you don't have to worry about anybody else while on the trip. Just yourself. Yeah, it's also, like, at the end of the day, too, it's the thing of, like, everybody else, unless they've done something completely terrible or something like that, It's a thing of, I wish everybody has a good life too. It doesn't matter. Like, just, yeah, hopefully everybody finds their own happiness, whether it's with someone, or with an opportunity, like a new job opportunity or something like that. I'll still root for people and be like, I'll be here. Like, just in case anybody wants to talk or stuff like that, so, I don't know. Wah. Oh, jeez. Bye-bye, Orbeetle. Da-da-da-da-da-da. What the heck? Why are attacks not hitting? It typically should, like... Oh, wow. Okay, I'm just getting unlucky! Oh. Oh. That's why. Also, something I need to figure out soon too is a topic for a paper that I need to write. That's happening. That's due very soon. That's due on the 11th. I'll figure it out eventually. I got it. I just... I'm just not looking forward trying to research and stuff like that. It's not fun. can't get a grip, but I cannot fall. Many things that I don't do well. Can't you see? Please can I be? Please can I be? California free. What's going on? Then someone's having things. I'm such an What the heck? Why are we missing attacks? What percent is that? It's a 100% accuracy. What the heck? It's 100% accuracy. Why did this miss? Huh? I'm confused. No. Honestly, I feel done with streaming for now. It's weird. Like, I feel satisfied with stopping right now. I don't know how to best explain it. I just feel happy to end right now. Like, I feel done. So, bye-bye. Till I decide to stream again. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.